Fuck, I'm too tall. God damn it.
Just shoot the whole thing, half your face.
It literally was stopped in my eyes.
Like the
Timmy
Turner style.
Okay, that works. You see Timmy Turner?
Yeah, you ever watch the cartoons and their parents are always cut off at the waist?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's like all cartoons, they never showed you adults.
Yeah. Well, the Count Chicken was the same.
Yeah. So 3, 2, 1, and welcome back to the Champcast! Look, we have a returning guest! Oh shit! So this Champcast will be a little bit different. This is going to be a topic, which we really haven't done before besides jobs. So first off, Jose, I'm going to bang you for coming here. Which one do you want?
Cherry Blade.
Okay.
Yeah.
My dad jokes. Bang you for coming here. So we can be a little caffeinated. Oh, I think I broke it. Oh no. So we can be a little caffeinated while we're doing this. So we have decided to do this for a very specific reason.
The sound of bang is delicious.
Imagine if they like put some like black powder underneath it, so just whenever you open it,
Just
explodes. The metal fragments shoot out. It was actually in testing with the Bang CEO, and too many people, had their eyes destroyed. The main reason we're doing this is because obviously I'm in the health industry. It's kind of all I fucking do and talk about, hence the channel. And you and I have been friends since we were 14. So a little backstory. Jose and I, or since I was 14, my apologies.
Yeah, let's say.
So Jose and I met when I was a freshman in high school. Jose's 2 years older than me. The reason why we met is because I was a weird little fucking high school, which if I can throw up a picture right now of me looking like a derp at 14, I'll throw it to you. And I want to do powerlifting because my brother and my dad are runners. I was never a runner. My dad bought us a weight set and I used it all the time. I liked it. So I was like, I'll go do theater and powerlifting for some reason, which is an interesting combination. And I show up, and like I said, I was this weird little dude back then, and I was like 5'4", 130 pounds, soaking wet, and nobody really talked to me. And if I could show the picture of me in my powerlifting outfit, you'll see why. Derpy little shit. And Jose was the one that whenever we do like our powerlifting meeting, he was like, hey man. And I was like, oh, what's up? He was like, my name's Taco. You want to come sit by me? And I was like, Taco? What the fuck? I was like, that's some racist shit. And I was like, sure, Taco, I'll come sit by you. And we talked and we hung out, we became friends. He invited me to my first party ever. And long story short, one of the others. No, just kidding. We've been friends forever now, and we've been working together for like the past
about a year.
9 months, a year.
A year.
So Jose came and I was looking for people, and I was managing 2 title boxing clubs in the Fort Worth area, and Jose was looking for another job because the bar you were at had just flooded.
Yeah, the country club I was at, there was horrible rain for like a week straight. The whole thing flooded. Obviously, when it's water is everywhere and the greens are not able to be playable, they shut it down. So we got cut from 40. I think the first week that I was there, I got cut from 40 hours to like 13.
Shit.
And I have a mortgage.
Yeah. Jose's a homeowner, by the way.
Yeah.
So how many people his age are?
So I had to get my shit together basically and really quickly. So I stay on Instagram because of my photography. So I just opened up Instagram and your story popped up, and I was like, oh, I wonder what kind of shenanigans he's into. So I press it, and then the first thing it is just a blacked out screen with like a caption. It was just something short. It was like
I think it literally said, if you're looking for a job, DM me.
Yeah. So I was just I think that was exactly what it was, and I was just like, man. And I knew that you were at a boxing gym, so I was just kind of like, man, this is going to be a whole 360. I've been in the restaurant industry for the last 12 years. Yeah. So doing a whole flip on that to gym was a wake up call.
Yeah. And now I want to bring up this. The reason why not only Jose, one of my best friends, if not my best friend, the reason why whenever he DM'd me saying he was looking for a job and I immediately took him into consideration is I'm big. If y'all know, I'm on the sales side, and I've been a sales manager, GM, multi-unit GM of gyms. And if you don't know the product, that's fine. But if you can bring me somebody who's been in sales for 5 years and has done gyms for 5 years, and they're like, yeah, so I work out and I show people how to work out. It's like, okay, pitch me. Our gym is really cool. It's good. I think you should sign up. I'm like, what? Because that's terrible. And I'm very much, when it comes to hiring, if you have personality, that's what sells. I can show you the product. I can show you like ideas on how to sell the product, and you can make your own pitch. And so I'm thinking personalities, and Jose's got one of the best personalities I've ever met in my life. He's extremely approachable to people. He is able to approach people very easily. And so, of course, I brought him in. Now, whenever you came in, you started asking me some questions about working out, dieting, stuff like that. And I did not expect it to go as far as it's gone. Because just for reference, when Jose started working at Tidal, you were 295?
295, yeah.
And you're now 220?
220, yeah, 225.
225. 70 pounds down in under a year.
In under a year, yeah.
I just gave myself chills just saying that.
Yeah.
And what was cool about it is, you know this is my job, so you never directly ask me for free shit, even though I'll give you free shit.
Yeah,
but
no,
you
I would
just ask for little pieces of advice. So this was like a slow roll in that you just, we would have like 10-minute conversations on things.
Yeah, and I would pick your brain in the 10 minutes to where I can get what I was wanting that day.
Yeah.
Not like taking advantage of it, but one day I would walk in and I had seen a video about intermittent fasting, and I'd ask you, hey, what's the science behind it? I always ask you, what's the science behind it?
Yeah.
If you ever pick that up.
Yeah.
So anything I asked, hey, what's the science behind this? Hey, what's the science behind that? And you would just say, well, this is why, and you know, well, you don't, when you work out, or when I asked you about cardio fasting, you said, oh, well, the science is, well, if you have nothing in your stomach, you're burning calories from the day, from yesterday, basically. Mm-hmm. Rather than if you eat a big breakfast, you're burning the calories from that big breakfast.
Yeah.
So I kind of just started piecing things together and trying things that I thought would be good for me. And in between those 9 months, I've been able to kind of perfect something that's worked for me and my body type, because not everything works for everybody. But I mean, it was random little questions. It was just, and even when it was about boxing, like technique stuff, just because every time I would hit the bag, I thought I'd watched enough movies about it, and my shoulder pops out or my wrist is hurting for a week. So it was just little things, and then pretty much I wanted to do everything by myself with help, but not put everything on you or anybody else at the gym.
Which, of course, I'm always here for that at the end, especially for you at the end of the day. But what was interesting about it from my perspective is, Jose, that was the first thing I do remember. Jose was asking me about intermittent fasting. I was like, I do intermittent fasting. My window is from 12 noon to 10 p.m. at night, and which is a slightly larger window, but as a bodybuilder, I eat 6 times in a day, so it gives it to where I can actually get all those meals down. And that was the thing. You asked me science, and as I explained, like whenever you're in a fasted state, in other words, you haven't eaten in 6 hours, so your stomach is empty. Your body is strictly burning body fat at that point, which is why I believe intermittent fasted cardio is a better form of cardio. Some people disagree with me. That's fine. I'm not too worried about it. But you started asking me about that, and then I slowly started seeing you bring meals with you. And I was like, what you got in there? So what you eating there, champ? And you were like, oh, chicken and broccoli. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay. And
well, the funny part is when I first got the job, we didn't have a cooler there, so I always had to go get food somewhere. We didn't have a fridge.
We had a fridge that smelled like donkey ass.
Okay, it wasn't plugged in, so that fucking didn't help.
I needed to hose it out, and I couldn't open the door long enough to sustain it. So we basically just brought coolers and stuck them in the back room, which was kind of colder.
And I would just go out and eat.
Yeah.
Because it's in downtown Fort Worth. There's always something there.
Shout out to a Sheep's Head Monkey!
I spent probably about $500,000 on that motherfucker. I got everything on that menu, and more.
He's got a roll named after him because of what he did.
So, and it all started as a joke. Like they were outside, they were still putting all this stuff in. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna eat everything in there. But after a while, it got expensive, So I started bringing in my own meals, and then things that can stay out. Something that couldn't go bad and stuff.
Yeah.
Like obviously, being in the restaurant background, bacteria grows pretty quickly and something like that. But at first, I was like, man, I'm going to work in a gym. I'm out of shape. I started wearing super baggy shirts. I started wearing like sweatpants and sweatshirts just so that, it's a gym, that was part of the uniform, but also I was so out of shape trying to sell people memberships to a gym, you know, and I think on my first sale, you bought me pizza, and I was just like, oh fuck. Yeah, and I was like, fuck.
You know what's funny? That was like probably right before I started.
It was right before you started prepping.
Yeah, and I was like, I need to get me a.
But it was the day that I got my first sale, so you took it as a double whammy, where you're just like, hey, we're gonna celebrate, but also not prepping yet, so let me go ahead and do that.
Also, I'm about to be eating fish and green beans every single day.
Yeah, but once we got a cooler, I started bringing my own meals and I started making all my stuff and fitting it within the window. Yeah, man, it was an easy, hard process on doing that because I always want to look the part when it comes to jobs. You know, when it was restaurant, I always wanted to be the best dressed and always the cleanest when it came to uniform. That way, I used to run Wingstop, so I was a manager for multiple Wingstops, and I was
at like 19.
Yeah. So I always wanted to be approachable. So when there was a complaint or anything, I didn't want to go up front full of sauce or anything like that. So I always had an extra shirt in my car so that if anything happened, I could just switch, pair of pants and everything. So when I went up there, I told my mom, I was like, hey man, you know, I told my parents, they asked me how the job was, and I was like, man, I'm really excited about it. I just don't look the part. And she's like, well, you must start eating healthy. That's the advice that my parents always give me, to start eating healthy. But it's fucking hard doing it in a house full of Mexicans. There's so much good food.
Jose, just start eating healthy. Would you like some chimichangas?
Yeah, we don't eat chimichangas. Anyways, it's so hard because every time I come home, there's always tacos or burritos or tamales or gordita. I mean, it's food and sugar and it's hard. So for the first time, I would eat very good at work, and I would go home and have a big Mexican meal or whatever it was. But now it's funny. My family were eating dinner the other night, and I was sitting there with my Tupperware eating chicken and broccoli while they were eating like some kind of guisado or something. And it was so funny. But it was hard, and I was just like, man, I got to look the part. And after that, every day I would pick somebody. Besides him, all the trainers at Title, man, they were very welcoming and helping when it came to anything like that. Because I always told them, like, hey, I want to look the part. And I didn't want to look at somebody in the face and say, hey man, this product works. You know, this is great.
Yeah.
And then I'm in between that, I'm like, catching my breath and trying to sell them this product. And the first thing I told you when we did the interview was like, hey, I don't know the product.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been in this industry.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll teach you.
And I was like shooting myself down in the interview, which was to me like weeks later. I was like, I can't believe I told them, like, I don't know anything, but please hire me. That's like in the same sentence. But I was like, man, I always asked them, and then eventually after work, I just started closing after working many morning shifts, and I started staying after work.
Yeah.
I asked him, I asked the owner, and I was like, hey, is it cool if I stay for about an hour? And I would just punch the bags as hard as I could for as long as I could. Mm-hmm. And it was about 2 or 3 minutes at a time. Yeah. And then eventually I was just like, you know what, I'm going to start taking class. So I started taking classes, and my cardio got better within the first month, I think.
Yeah, and see what's cool about all this is you did everything right. So with what Jose did is what most people will do. So most people who get a personal trainer or a dietitian or something like that, they just 90% of the time will just say, here's your meal plan, go. So your body's like, oh shit, I've been eating like crap 3 to 4 times a day, and now you want me to eat just chicken and broccoli, chicken and rice 4 times a day? And it's like, oh damn, and your body goes into a kind of shock because it's something you're not used to. So what your approach was smart, so that you started your intermittent fasting, and then you did your healthy meals at work and had one shit meal at the end of the day. Yeah. So what it did is it allowed your body to adapt to what you were eventually going to be doing. And eventually got to a point where you were just doing like a Sheams 2 or 3 times a week, and you were eating healthy.
Yeah, or even if it was just like a roll or some kind of sushi roll or some soup. Yeah, I would do that.
Which stuff is decently healthy for what it is.
And the whole time, which is so weird, I ate rice for the most part every day for the last maybe 6 months. Mm-hmm. The last 2 months is where really I've been kind of cutting, or the last month is really where I've been cutting the rice. Yeah. Just because I'm trying to grow certain parts and cut on certain.
You're carb cycling.
Yes. So And no supplements whatsoever throughout the whole process.
No fit teas.
No fit teas. No tapes. No body wraps. I mean, there were no dieting pills.
No P90X.
No, nothing. It was literally just dieting and then just hard fucking cardio.
So what's cool is, well, you're at a hard cardio point now. So what I liked in how we did it is how I would approach it with anybody who saw themselves as overweight and just want to start losing weight. And we're like, I'm not sure how well I'll be able to do this or if I'll be able to do it. So if I had someone that was questioning their dedication or something like that, I would do what basically we had you do. It's just like, okay, so I'm gonna let you eat somewhat of the same. So we're gonna make 3 of your 4 meals healthy, and then you can eat something bad at night, just to start you out for like the first few weeks. And we're just gonna limit your window. So it'll be from 2 to 8 or something like that. So you can eat every 2 hours, you still feel full, you just have to fight that urge, you'll get used to it, trust me. And then the second thing, like you said, you didn't know what to do, you would just go after work and just beat the shit out of the bag. That's my second frame, is where I just want you to get you moving. I want you to do something.
Yeah.
So you live in an apartment complex, go walking up and down the stairs, all 3 floors 10 times. Do that 10 times and then go to bed, or do that 10 times and then go to work, something like that. So you took this extremely smart approach to where you didn't burn yourself out quickly, and you didn't shock the hell out of your body, which would make you cheat more on your diet and do things where you don't know, maybe you couldn't have done those 3 healthy meals in a day and it would have only been 2 and then 2 crap meals, because you did it the proper way. You slowly weaned it. It's almost like a drug addict. You slowly weaned yourself off.
And it was hard for me because at that time in my life, I had just lost my job with Wingstop, and I was with them for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, so I was at a hard time where that was my first job.
Yeah.
You know, I started pretty much throwing chicken and washing dishes, and then I moved my way up. So I had just gotten that. I was kind of lost. I was just bartending and serving at the club, and I wasn't happy where I was. So I know for a fact that if I wouldn't have sent you that message, like I probably would have been heavier. And just that, because I was drinking. I was just, you know, every time you drink, you get hungry, and it was just.
You are what your environment is, and so
Yes.
if you're in a bar and stuff like that, you're gonna drink. I mean, shit, when I was bouncing, I couldn't drink because I would have to drive myself home every night.
Yeah.
And I'm a fucking lightweight. Irish people, who do expect that you get one that's a fucking lightweight?
Yeah. He gets drunk smelling rubbing alcohol.
You give me a half a glass of rosé, and I'm like, oh, let me tell you something, laddie. Let me tell you about the whole laddie.
And he's not kidding. This shit happened for real. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us after these short.
I just have to pause it here, but I need to mess with the settings of my camera. I haven't. So my first question really is like, my first question. I'm acting like we just started this over. What was making you want to make the change? Was it just, I want to look the part for this job, or was there more to it?
It was mostly wanting to look the part.
Okay.
Because I just felt like a phony trying to sell something to someone that I'm not using.
Mm-hmm.
And even when it came to being at the restaurant, I always had this mentality and this philosophy of I wouldn't sell you anything I wouldn't eat. Which is why I worked at Wingstop for so long and all my stores were so successful, just because I would not want to serve a product that I would not want to serve my parents or my family or myself. Mm-hmm. So my family was big supporter. I mean, they were always going up there. Myself, I would always eat it as well. So when I went there, I was like, this is not going to change anything. You know, I don't want to give somebody a product that I wouldn't enjoy.
Yeah.
So for me to, you know, bullshit through these customers and everybody that came in, I saw them as customers that I was when I was running the restaurants, because once they joined, I didn't just turn my shoulder and say, hey, we got your money. We don't really care about you.
Yeah.
You know, I became friends with these guys, and you know, they continued to go there until the end. So it was really the fact that I didn't want to bullshit a person and then them coming to me and be like, hey, this doesn't really work for me.
Yeah.
Because once I started showing them the photos and telling them, hey, this is what I weighed, you know, 4 or 5 months ago, it works.
Which your photos are insane of that.
Yeah, and I mean, you can even just see, like, my posture has gotten better. Just I mean, you can tell the body fat and stuff, and I'll send you those to put them.
Yeah,
I mean, dope. And then also, it was just, I wasn't happy with myself. You know, I would wake up every morning and look in the mirror, and I was just upset and disappointed that I've gotten this far. Mm-hmm. Just because, I mean, when I was a child, I was always an athlete until college, and after that, it was just party life for the 2 years, and that was it. So it was hard for me to look at myself that way and then be like, man, where has time gone?
Yeah.
And where would I be in the next 10 years. So that's really where I didn't want to be, because I was smoking cigarettes and I was drinking a lot of alcohol basically all the time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I gotta make a change, because if not, I'm getting dead.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything like I'm gonna ease into it. I was just like, dude, this is gonna save my life.
Let's hit the ground running. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it and jump in it. And I was thankful enough and lucky enough to have a supportive group, including yourself and Daniel and Derek and Jacob. You know, all these guys really, and Holly. They always took the time to be able to, like, anytime that I ever picked their brains, they're just like, yeah, this is how it works, and blah blah blah.
I just imagine you asking Jacob, hey, what's your secret thing to say? I eat 10 times a day.
Yeah,
Can't
so
gain weight.
I always ask questions that I knew that I would, you know, like, so Holly, I always go like, you know, this hurts, how can I stretch it? And then she would just stand on it forever.
And then she'd be like, hey, here's a video of me eating cookie dough and Hershey syrup, and I'm still in shape.
And I would tell her, like, how the hell did you have a whole tin of ice cream with whipped cream, and you're so tiny? And then I had to eat fucking a Reese's peanut butter cup and felt fat. You know? And but I always ask him certain things. So like Jacob, I always went for like boxing, you know, things.
Yeah.
He has a huge background in that. Holly, I always asked about the kicks, and you know, everybody had a thing that I always kind of picked their brains and went that way, and I was able to help them back as well with my photography. So it was kind of like, hey, you help me out, I help you out, kind of like I scratch your back, scratch yours.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, I just knew that for a fact that if I kept going with these habits, I would not be where I would be today.
Yeah. Well, and what's great about it is I love not only seeing when people have a transformation like you've had, but it doesn't just affect them physically, it affects them mentally, that you're getting your personal training certification and certified nutrition certification. As I am too, I'm re-upping myself.
Which is something that I never thought I would do.
Well, you say that, but at the same time, you were powerlifting in high school, so there's something there.
Yeah, so I did powerlifting in high school, and the thing was, I got cut from the baseball team. So, this is the thing, I've never played baseball, but I always loved it, and I tried out, and I was like, hey, this is awesome, I want to do it. I always grew up with him. My uncle always played. He played professionally in Mexico, so it was just like every time he came in, he always the Sultanes jacket. You always see, yeah.
I could have made a really racist joke about stealing bases, but I'm not going to.
We'll steal our own. So I always grew up on it, and I tried out, and then you know, in the States it's so weird because in the States if you really They literally grow up playing baseball.
Yes.
So you do t-ball and you know little league and then clubs and then you know and if you get to high school it's very political. Where the first question they asked me when I tried out was like, "Hey, what club do you play for?" And I'm like, "I don't play for a club." And they're like, "Oh, okay." I wasn't bad. I mean, they complimented me. They were just like, "Hey, you're a little behind according to everybody else, but you know you have the heart, you can play, blah blah blah." So they cut me during the cuts, and then they were just like, "Hey." I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm in the baseball class. It wasn't during tryouts. They put me in the class.
Classes for that crap.
And I was like, what am I supposed to do? So they moved me. They put me on some PE or some athletics. And then they're like, hey, man, powerlifting tryouts are today. And I was like, I didn't even know what powerlifting was. And I didn't know they were tryouts. So they just lifted weights.
Yeah.
So I go down there, and they put me in. And I was playing football at the time anyways. So I was already coming in strong. And I did that. But after that, I really got into the training part when I graduated high school. And in my freshman year in college,
didn't you assist coach?
Yeah, so I had to do a community service project or something, and I always worked that up there at the school. Shout out to Legacy High School.
Legacy.
So I always worked out there after school, and I went up there during powerlifting season just to check out the team and pretty much say hi to all the guys that I had left the year before. Mm-hmm. And I told my coach, I was like, hey, you know, I got to do.
Who was it, Nutley?
Yeah, Coach Nutley was
best there. Last name ever.
Best coach.
Honestly. Nutley.
And I was like, hey, I got to do this project. Like, what should I do it on? He's just like, well, just coach with me, and I'll just sign a paper. And I was like, you ask your professor. And I was like, cool. So the next day, I asked my professor. They're like, yeah, that's fine. And after that whole winter, I was training. So I think he split the guys. He ended up teaching all the guys and coaching all the guys, and I ended up teaching and coaching all the girls.
Really?
So he gave me all the girls, and then my first year. I believe we took one person to regionals, and I think it was a guy. I can't remember his name, but I think it was one guy. After that, I volunteered for 2 more years, and we took.
Damn, I didn't realize you did that long. I thought
I did 3 years.
1 semester.
I did 3 years, and the first one was just for the the project. After that, I really wanted to get into coaching.
Uh-huh.
I was still going to school, so I was just like, hey, I want to coach high school. It's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to teach and be able to shape minds. So that first year, I just ended up doing it, kind of BSing through it. I was like, it's just for class. After that, I was like, oh man, I freaking love this. Let's do that. And we did it again. I think we took another girl to state. The year after that, we drove down to Corpus and we did the whole tournament. And that was a freaking blast to do. To see somebody that started when I was there and then finished at state with us, which was such a cool thing to see. But after that, I was just like, man, I want to do this. And I just started working and I got busy and it ended up just being in the rearview mirror. And then after a while, I started working at Tidal and shout out to Jonathan because he didn't show up that day. I ended up teaching class and I loved it. Yeah, I was so nervous.
So fun.
I was so nervous. The first class, I think I did jumping jacks for a full minute. And then I was like, okay, what would Daniel do right here? Okay, and then I would go for something. And then I'm like, what would Holly do? Okay, I'm going to do this. So basically all my classes from that turned into a combination of the hardest things that all the trainers did in 1 hour class with me.
Yeah.
So I did one thing from you, one thing from everybody, and I just smacked that into 1 hour packed class of just like a full non-stop action. And I just fell in love with it again. And when we went over to work for Larry, I started seeing how cool and the interactions between everybody, and I was like, man, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Like this is so cool to do. And then also going through my transformation, I was like, and how I feel now, I was like, I want that for somebody that's walking around saying like, I want to change, but I'm just not determined to do it. Which how I was. Yeah. And if you surround them by the right people, they will feel the same. And that's kind of just more heartwarming than the money that I would make from the actual job.
Of course. And there's a lot of job satisfaction and stuff like that. Obviously, I've had a lot of people. My favorite story was I was training a guy that he was paying me a lot of money. He was paying me to come into his house and train. And the only reason we cut ties, he lost like 75 pounds in 5 months or something like that. And 78, my apologies. So he was moving, and so that's why we had to cut ties. And since he had paid me so much, like as a gift to him, I brought him a couple duffel bags. And he was looking at them and he was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "That's your goodbye gift." And because I wanted to put things into perspective. So I set him down and I go, "Pick him up." He picks him up. He's like, "What the hell? Do you have bricks in here?" And he opens them up, and I have 9 bowling balls in there. 9 8-pound bowling balls. And he was like, why did I don't bowl? And I was like, that's not the point. I was like, let me explain something to you. I was like, pick those up. I was like, that's what you're not carrying on your body anymore. Yeah. People don't put that into perspective. People don't put into perspective how much 70 pounds is. Like how much lighter you must feel because you cannot imagine. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And the other day, I was working out at the gym, and I picked up 70 pounds. Yeah. And I could barely do it.
Yeah, pick up a 70-pound dumbbell. Just grab it with 2 hands and lift it straight up.
I couldn't believe that came out of my body.
Yes, exactly.
Which is so crazy to think. But the thing is, like, one thing that was harder for me was, at first, I was the only one noticing changes. Yeah. You know, and you were good about it, too.
Well, because you're wearing big, baggy stuff, it took me a second, but I started noticing, I was like, look at you, your shoulders are looking a little bit more.
And with hitting the bags, hitting the bags all the time, that's the first thing that changed.
And I hype people to fuck up when they're dropping weight or growing stuff.
Which that was so cool to be around because if I didn't have that, I think mentally I was just like, oh, nobody's noticed. I don't think they would notice if I continue to gain weight. Yeah. But it took forever after a while where I was starting noticing, and then I just wouldn't tell people because it's 3 pounds, it's 4 pounds here, 4 pounds there. It wasn't a big deal. But over a while, and after picking up more time with Tidal and less at the country club, and every time I would make that one appearance every other 2 weeks or whatever, members started to notice. Yeah. And man, did you start working? Did you lose weight? I'm like, yeah, 20, 25 pounds, and then 30 pounds, and then another month, and then another month, and then I just saw somebody. I worked last night, and I saw somebody I hadn't seen in basically that whole transition. And she didn't even recognize me. She walked right by me. And I was like, dang, you gonna walk by me like that? She's like, holy crap, like I did not recognize you. I'm like, did you seriously lose weight? I'm like, yeah, and 70 pounds at this point.
What was it that happened? Because my big thing is always, as I've grown, I've had to figure out clothes to put on more shirts. It's you dropped one, right? You were double or triple X?
I was a double X.
Yeah.
and now I'm just a large.
And then I started giving you some
gave
of my
me
work
all
shirts
your
that didn't
stuff.
fit me anymore.
And now those don't fit me. Like, now, I mean, I'm a hoarder when it comes to clothes because I just feel like to throw them out is just such a waste.
Yes.
So I do have a big closet, and I still have things from high school that didn't fit me 8 months ago, but now they fit perfect now.
That's crazy.
Which is like random shirts, powerlifting shirts, football shirts, stuff like that. My athletic shorts, and random things that I had in my closet. But now I have shirts that I bought, a year ago that I can't wear. They're 2 sizes bigger than I am. And they're dress shirts, I like bought a whole bunch
your boy.
Yeah, I bought a whole bunch of Tommy Hilfiger like shirts.
Ooh.
And I look like a fucking parachute. Like I feel like if I trip, it's just gonna be like a really slow thing. But throughout the whole transition, the funny part is like maybe a month ago, my dad's like, I walked around my house shirtless one day. And my dad just walked around and goes, "Yo, you've lost some weight, haven't you?" So I'm like,
a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of it, dog. Like, what? I'm like, yeah, but yeah, I mean, the clothes stuff, it's crazy because I'm pulling things out that I've had in my, so this is the thing. I don't like throwing away clothes. So anytime that my family comes in, we always used to send clothes to Mexico to my cousins to sell, whatever. And I always had a stash in the corner of my closet of shorts, t-shirts, sweatshirts that didn't fit me, and then I was going to throw away or give away or whatever. But I just didn't want to.
Yeah.
They all now fit. So I'm at a point where shirt size I went down to.
What about pants?
Pants, I was a 40. I'm at 36.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's 4 inches off my waist, in the last 8 months.
That's crazy.
Shoes still fit, obviously. But yeah, other than that, dude, it's...
Well, and what's cool about it is you noticed a quick spike once you came over to work with me at Larry, which we were at a kickboxing gym. They had some weights and stuff like that, but it was mostly a cardio group class style stuff. So then we moved to a big box gym. We're like, hey, you can't hire me without this guy.
It's a 2-for-1 deal, baby.
It's a 2-for-1 deal. Except now. And we moved over to a big box gym and you started hitting some weights again while doing some cardio, and you noticed a quick spike, and you lost, 5 pounds in 3 days? Something like that? What was it?
It was 5 pounds in 3 days.
Yeah.
The first week that I was there, I think I've gone down. I think I've been there for a little bit over a month, and I think I'm down 15.
Because obviously, so we wanted to kick it up a little bit, so you started asking me about supplements.
I did do weights when I was a title,
yeah.
But I was just I was so addicted to hitting the bag. There was just something about hitting the bag.
Plus, all we had with title was free weights and a cable machine.
Yeah, so, and I was able to squeeze in some things, but kind of keeping everything mobile. But when it came down to, okay, I got to do, curls and chest today, and then I was like, I really just want to hit the bag for another hour.
Yeah.
It was just something about the bag that is
just beating the shit out of something for 30 minutes.
So it was so much fun. But once we moved over there, I asked him about certain things, and again, hey, what day should I hit? I'm trying to lose weight, or a little bit more of the fat on the chest. What should I do? And then those are the days that I cut down on the carbs and kind of just hit it harder on the weights, with still eating something before the actual weight. So I would do my cardio fasting, and then I would eat something. Yeah. Which was either a peanut butter cup or some oatmeal or something, or some oats with peanut butter. That way I had something in my stomach to kind of.
What's cool too is that at the end of the day, what people don't realize is you can do a lot of cardio, and that gets you to a certain point. And then once you add in weights, that spikes your metabolism a lot more, because now it's not just dropping body fat, it's putting on muscular development as well, which spikes your body fat cut as well. And then you start talking about supplements, because obviously, let me explain something to you. Supplements are not magic. I filmed a video earlier today that I'll have up to explain this. Supplements aren't magic. They're not just you can take them and sit on your ass and lose weight. They are usually, literally look up the definition of the word. They are to supplement your workout and your diet. So once you kicked in, you've got like a pre-workout with a couple fat burners and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I was really struggling with a lot of water weight. So instead of cutting my water intake, I really just kind of get through that. But really, without changing my diet or my workouts, I just started taking that pre-workout. Pre-workout, yeah. So I asked him about a pre-workout and kind of sat through a couple of things that I could finally take. And this is like 7 months after, the whole transition. I didn't take any pre-workouts. I didn't take any whey protein. I didn't take water weight pills. I didn't take anything
Yeah.
for the first 6-7 months. This last month is where I really put in the pre-workout. Really, my pre-workouts were bangs or energy drinks before going, just to get some kind of energy to burn through.
But now we're trying to kick it up a notch so that
So now
that flow.
I'm really trying. Well, I actually plateaued too, so I kind of I was at a weight, and I would still notice changes, but it wasn't as drastically as it was at the beginning of the whole journey. But yeah, this pre-workout, I don't take it every day. I usually take it every other day or the heavy cardio days. That way I can get some of that extra water weight out and fit some extra reps on the days that I need the growth.
Yeah.
Because throughout the whole thing, I noticed my legs getting smaller. My back was still retaining a lot of body fat and water.
It's a tough area for guys.
But I took the pre-workout on leg days and back days, and I mean, in less than a couple weeks, I started noticing toner on my legs, a little bit more growth on my legs, and then I shaved a lot of the body fat and water fat on my back. And I got to the point where every time I would flex my back, I would notice muscles contract.
Oh, that's so fun.
But it was very small movement. So I was like, man, I really want to have that. Not really like sculpted. I'm not really looking for the chiseled look, but I just want to look fit and be fit. So I would, got to the point where I just looked in the mirror one day and I flexed my back and I just saw everything coming together.
What I like a lot too, and obviously you sent me, which I'm doing today as a matter of fact, you sent me what you were doing food wise. I'm going to get more heavily involved and help you out with the diet and everything, be a little bit more hands on, because the fact of where you're at, I think we can get you to 200 pounds within the year, which gives me 4 to 5 months to do that, which I think would be no problem at all. And I'll do your workout plans and stuff. None of y'all fuckers get it for free. Just saying.
And then also, a lot of people have been asking me too with losing 70 pounds. They've been asking about like flabby skin or anything like that. Nothing at all. No stretch marks.
That's because you've done it at a good slow pace.
Yeah. So a lot of people notice that they get flabby or they have this extra skin just from dropping the weight in such a short amount of time. And shocking your system too. It doesn't give time for it to kind of sculpt around. But I really focused on losing the weight slowly but still efficiently, and then pretty much fill in that skin if it were to get flabby with muscle.
Exactly.
And that's really what it's been.
But you said the keywords right there. It's shocking your system, because some people you get some extremely dedicated people that they're just like, I'm cutting out carbs, sugars, everything, all this in one soda. I'm just drinking water, doing green beans, and doing fish and chicken, and they start to notice a lot of loose, because it's not progressive. Because a good quote I saw earlier was, if it takes you 5 to 10 years to get obese, why do you expect to get in shape within 6? And you shouldn't expect it. You shouldn't try to do that, because it needs to be progressively coming off. But one thing I love too is, like you were just saying, you don't want to be incredibly sculpted in the back. And this is a quote that I'm trying to push on people as much as possible, because I did a video earlier today that's basically going to be titled, I don't want you to look like me. And the reason why is because you can't expect to ever look like somebody else, because every single one of us is different. Our muscle insertions are different, our fat burn is different, our genetic makeup is different. But what I think is always a good thing for me to tell people is, I want you, and I would hope you want you, to be the best and healthiest version of yourself that is possible.
Yes, and also, every time that I ever did, I set small goals with still having an end game.
Yes.
Like at the very beginning of it, I said I want to lose 5 pounds, but my end game is I want to have a 6-pack.
Yeah.
And then I hit 5 pounds. Okay, well now my goal is 15.
Yeah.
And my end game is still wanting a 6-pack. I always wanted that. I'm gonna get there, but I want to get these small little dots first, and I hit 15, and then 20, and then 25.
What I would love, and I think would be cool, is to get you down to 200 within the year. But I think what would be cooler is to get you at 195 within the year, because that'll put you at 100 pounds down in a year.
Also, I haven't been like 195 since like 6th grade.
Exactly. And I think just with me adding my stuff and knowledge and getting a little bit more hands-on, we can do that, and that would be insane.
Yeah, it would definitely
that's a
be crazy.
3-figure number of weight loss within a year.
Yeah.
Like, that is so hard to do.
Like, I know people that weigh 100 pounds. It's like I gave birth to a small child.
You gave birth. You lost Christina Cranshaw.
Yes. Shout out to Christina Cranshaw.
I miss you, Christina.
But yeah, no, it was, and now I'm kind of to the point where I don't want that bodybuilder look.
Of course.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like I would look that wasn't really like my goal. Like
Yeah.
I'm still like I wouldn't say heavy, but like my body type is kind of like a broad person. So really, what I want to see is kind of like a more chiseled version of like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about? Like he's chunky, but he's got a six pack, which is weird. So like that's basically like.
And also not as roided up and aggro.
Exactly, with no supplements, obviously. Other than my pre-workout and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I didn't take any protein. One thing that I asked you about, hey, and I don't know why I always started with, hey, what's the science behind this?
Well, it's a good question.
Like Bill Nye the Science Guy. But I asked him, I think, like, hey, what's the science behind like eating and drinking protein or stuff like that? And I think we talked for like 15, 20 minutes about this, and I was like, you know what, that'll work. Yeah. Because I always heard somebody say, like, will you, and I gave up alcohol. Like, I think in the last 8 months, I've had maybe 8 drinks.
That's good.
So, like, and that's 8 drinks, like a total of 8 drinks in the last time. So, I think that really, like, as soon as I stopped drinking alcohol, like, my belly just completely went.
Fun fact, let's do some science right here. The reason why that happens is because in beer, wines, and stuff like that, especially those are all made from grains. Now, let me preface this pretty quickly. Unless you do liposuction, you cannot choose which parts of your body you lose fat from first. You cannot target specific parts of your body for fat. You can kind of with water if you use like saran wrap and stuff like that around certain parts. That being said, those will fill back up pretty quickly. But when you're eating certain things, they can put fat on a certain area. Grains, wheats, so breads, alcohols, things like that, are scientifically proven to put fat on that stomach and the lower back area. So yes, what a lot of people see when they cut that stuff out completely, that starts falling off very, very quickly, and it's because you're not adding to that anymore.
Yeah, and that was a huge thing for me because I cut out bread, I cut out dairy, and it was mostly because of my psoriasis.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty
it was just like
cleared up now,
and yeah, that thing is cleared up.
Yeah,
very minimal stuff. But also, as soon as I noticed all that stuff, my skin got better. And then the first thing I noticed was kind of just like my back, those love handle areas, and my stomach completely flattened. And it's been a big change there. And once I give out alcohol, it changed.
Well, the entire thing has been an incredible journey so far, and I'm glad that I'm wanting to get more involved and helping you out with getting to that point where that'd be crazy. I would love to say at the end of the year we post some pictures that you've dropped 100 pounds. Like that'd be so insane. Plus, I think with your height, an optimal ideal weight for you for what you've described to me would be between 185 and 190. So we'll be pretty close to where the set goal is at that point. Obviously, you got to get to work. Like this is just to end it. Like this whole process is crazy, and I love seeing, especially people I work with lose weight, but seeing like, God damn it, I'm gonna fucking cry. But see like you make this big change. God damn it. Seeing you make this big change.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Seeing you make this like drastic change and you start talking about how much healthier you feel and all this stuff and the fact that you want to work in like the field I work in now because of all this, and you put this long Facebook post on that made me cry, you asshole. Just like means so much to me because I always say like I let people do whatever they want and make choices they make as long as it doesn't hurt or affect the people I care about. And I didn't know about the cigarettes and all the drinking and that stuff because you and I had seen each other quite a bit in those few years since high school, but not as much as I would liked. And now knowing all that, like it makes me so much happier that you're not hurting your body like that anymore. And then you've seen this light, seen this change, and you're down to feeling way healthier and happier and like in an industry that you like a lot better. And it makes my heart happy. It makes me cry like a fucking 230 pound, 6'2" pussy.
That's true.
And you leave me alone. But yeah, thank you. I'm glad your Facebook post made me want to tell your story, all of that, because like I hadn't seen the pictures yet, and so seeing the pictures, I was like, oh my god, because obviously I've seen you trimming down, but seeing that really shocked me and was like, this is something people need to know about, because you're the exact reason of, at the end of the day, while you took some of my advice, this is mostly self-done. You did the research, you asked the question, you slowly implemented everything, and you've done what you've done. And it's part of the reason why I think you're going to be a great personal trainer, a great dietitian, because you have a true life story. and makes me happy. It makes me cry. And
Well, I mean, I definitely owe this a lot to you because if I would never
don't do that. Don't make me fucking cry.
if I would have never answered that post, and if you never sat in that interview, and I'd never asked you all these questions, and you never gave me this, like, I honestly think I'll probably be dead.
Oh God!
So
don't say that.
No, I'm serious. It's just I was in a really dark place. I was in a really bad place body wise. I mean, I can't talk for where I could be, but I would definitely not be where I am, how I am in a healthy way. So I do owe you all that, and I appreciate you, having that time to take and be able to, show me the ropes on an industry that I've only been in for like 9 months.
Yeah,
and fucking killing it. But it's cool, man. And I appreciate you. I love you.
I love it too.
And this is where we cut it. Yeah. See you guys next time on the Champcast. Maybe we'll do a topic video like this again, but this was just really important to me to talk about everything Jose has done. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, real quick announcement. Me and Buddy Boy here are starting a comedy and gaming channel called the Ice Cream Boys. Yeah, we're gonna have an air horn and abuse the shit out of that, but that'll be coming soon. We will guys let you know the exact. We'll be posting like that about crazy. We got some dope like cartoon versions of us coming. That's gonna be our singing. It's so cool. But that'll be coming soon. I'm getting all the technology, get it all set up, and that's gonna be great. So see you guys next time on the Champcast, and see you guys soon with the Ice Cream Boys.